Hello, retail traders. This is Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I'm going to talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And I'm going to watch a few of the stocks that are coming out with earnings this week that I think we could have an opportunity to the upside. We definitely broke the resistance of the triple top last week, and I was very impressed with that last few day run we had, and it was just overpowering, which means we're definitely bullish. The market is bullish. The fat cats are bullish. They don't want to let this go, and I've mentioned it in my last updates, and they're still hanging on. They're still hanging on. A little irrational exuberance at the extreme level, but it's a year that I'll never forget. Starting off with 2024 with a bang, we pulled back pretty good after that triple top, called it out, and then now we're double top, and then now we broke resistance. So we've got a few good stocks that we want to talk about here. And again, this is a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So let's get right to it. I'm going to pull up the chart here. This is my watch list for earnings coming out this week. We've got some dowsers coming in here. We got Tesla, Intel, we have Boeing, we have IBM, we got Netflix. So I'm just going to go through a couple of these that kind of hit the top of my head, where I think we've had an opportunity where we've had the correction and we can go to the upside. First one's going to be Tesla. We definitely had a good pullback on this about a month, and we came down and hit my solid support. We have bounced off here before, especially if you pull up the yearly. You can see we're bouncing off this here shoulder line of this head and shoulders. And here's that big dip right here that we went below the 200, and this has gone on for a good 7-8 months. Now, this ain't the best time of the year to be looking at these EV companies because they don't do well in the wintertime, for one. You know, that's one thing that they're going to have to work on. You know, I hear stories about losing charge and not charging up, eating more charge up, and they're not going as far because you got to turn that heater on, and it just, the batteries don't seem like they work as well as they do in the summer. So they're going to have to figure something out there, a way to keep them things warm and just keep them charged up. I'm surprised really that we have charging stations. It seems like we could roll them tires and generate some electricity from the rotation of the tires and keep that thing going. But this is Tesla. We did have a good pullback on it. We're going to bring this up to the 20-day 1 hour. Called this 207.43. We hit 207.56. We nailed the little reversal. It needs to come up and try to hit this 217 area to break this week if we go off earnings, and then run up and maybe hit around 220 and then 228. The next one is Intel. Intel's had a wonderful run. If you look back at the 1 year time frame, the daily, we called it off this 200 SMA down here, and she's opened up into a real nice breakout. So this thing can come up and double top right around $51. We got a break resistance of 48.69 and hold the support right down here at 44.84 to keep this thing bullish. Another one that I'm going to be looking at is going to be Boeing. Boeing's had that bad news, and then they had some more bad news the other day with that cargo plane catching on fire in the air. What a landing that was, I bet. That thing has up in flames, and they were able to get it down for an emergency landing. Now, I still think this has a lot of issues to work around, so there's always going to be a negative input on this stock. But again, we almost broke that 200 SMA, which is that gold line right there. And if we can break the 9, then we'll move on up. So 218, about 219 is going to be our target on Boeing to break. It might have good earnings, but I don't think what's happened here lately will affect them earnings at all. So you got to put a caution flag on it. I think it'll be a good day trade, and maybe a good couple day trade, couple days, and then get out of the stock, let it pull back and consolidate and try to find some kind of ground. We did almost break out of resistance. We're going to draw this up, make it real simple for you. So we still got a long ways to go. Somewhere around that 222 area, where it did consolidate for that first week or so. Somewhere right around that 222 area. No higher than that. If it does break out, it'll be 229. But we got to use that 9 EMA as a resistance level on the daily time frame. It's still bad news for this company. They're going to have to redo a lot of stuff. I'm not really excited about taking this trade. I was down here at the bottom when I called it out last week, and we've kind of moved up since. So it can consolidate. The fat cats are going to be all over this because they think it's cheap. They don't look at all the bad news like I do. That's why I called more of a bigger pullback than they did. They thought it was going to stop at 220 and resume trading to the upside. That did not happen. We got IBM on watch this week. This is one that I really like. Pull up the 20-day, 1 hour, pull up the yearly daily. Called this inverse head and shoulders off this trade here a while back. We've run up. Now we've created a new high, and this stock can be really, really fun to watch. Let me see. It's going to get a lot of good news. It's going to be the next. This one, IBM hasn't took the run that like all the others did, but it has had a nice little run here lately. And we broke a triple top bull flag right here, created a new high. So I don't know if it's priced in. It could be priced in. We could pull back and hit some kind of support right around 160, 167. $167.04. Somewhere around 167 to hold this week and bounce off the 9. The 9 EMA as it rode all the 9 all the way up here on the daily time frame. This is going to be a good one to watch here. Netflix, I think subscribers will be up. They're cracking down on the ones that weren't paying. We're using other people's passwords. Plus, I think they'll get new subscriptions off that because people are stuck on the TV. I'm stuck on the internet for entertainment, so it goes like that. If we hold the 50 SMA on the daily, we're still going to be bullish. And that number is right around this 271.36. Resistance to break will be the pivot point inside of this linear channel that we've had running up here to the top. We did need to do a 1, 2, 3, go long and break that $500. So that number is right around 509. If we can break, I don't know, 494. Then we'll probably hit that or at least a $500 bill. If we break that 500 double top, I think we can go ahead and move up higher. But it needs to hold support, and that's going to be the 50 SMA on the daily time frame. I think that's about it. The major ones I'm going to be watching. We do have Johnson & Johnson on here. It's had a nice bounce off the 200. Right now it's acting as a pivot point area. We've got resistance off the 200, resistance, and then we found support. So if this pulls back and stays above the 200, I'd take the trade there and run it up to a resistance level of 162.38. And that's what you got to break come this week. This is going to be Johnson & Johnson. Procter & Gamble, we've been talking about in the room. We did have a nice little pullback here. I called the 1, 2, 3. We bounced up. We hit the pivot point in that linear channel. Pull up the weekly time frame. You can see the weekly time frame, how it's ran off this head and shoulders. Pulled back and hit that 200 for a very, very strong buy. If we do get a knife on Procter & Gamble when earnings come out, that's going to be a very strong buy off that 200. Don't take me wrong. I'm serious. Right around 142, 143, somewhere in that area. With resistance to break is going to be right around 151.46. That's PG. We got Visa. They're going to be doing good. Interest rates have really helped this stock out. It's made the rich richer and the poor poorer. Keep that in mind when you vote next time. We got a 1, 2, 3 bounce. We have an all-time high up here on the 3-year time frame. The old support is going to be right around 264. If that holds, then you'll have a continuation run for a double top break. And that's going to be Verizon. And that's it, retail traders. Keep a good eye watch list. I'll be live on YouTube sharing this watch list and how I'm going to be trading them this week. Plus, I'll be posting them in Twitter, which is now X. And I wish everybody a great day. Retail traders, the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And I'm definitely going to be watching earnings into this week. Got a few good ones in here that I think I can make some real good money on. Tesla, Netflix, Boeing, Intel. Well, not Intel, but I'm going to be watching. If we have a good pullback on Intel, heck yeah, I'll take this trade. Verizon. We've got Visa. We've got AT&T. So there's a lot of good ones to watch. Have a great day.